The college football experience, Tulsa Golden Hurricane 2023 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by our very own Patreon. Yes, score exclusive perks, content, and contests, including our NFL win totals contest with a $1,000 prize. Join today, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app to get last-minute tickets to, at the lowest price guaranteed. Make sure you use the promo code CFBX for $20 off Game Time. Once again, CFBX is the promo code to use when checking out Game Time. And remember, as always, folks, too, let it ride.
This is Brian Bosworth, a.k.a. The Boz, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother. Peace out. Boz out.
Experience Tulsa Golden Hurricane 2023 season preview episode. I am excited to talk Golden Hurricane football because, wasn't that long ago, just 2 years ago, they were playing for the AAC championship, or during the COVID year, I feel like it was Cincinnati that ducked playing at Tulsa to end the season. Or perhaps the championship game might have been held in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But this is a proud program. Back to the days of Steve Largent, Gus Frerotte, Chris Penn, all those guys. So excited to talk a new era of Golden Hurricane football. But before we do that, you're probably wondering who the hell you're listening to. Well, my name is Colby Swing at Database Dad, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar. I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Oh, talking Tulsa Golden Hurricane football, this was a program that has had very, very good years before. Winners of, they've had undefeated seasons. Don't have to go that far back. 1942. They played in back-to-back Sugar Bowls in 42 and 43. And then, I feel like mid-2000s, Steve Cragthorpe era, Todd Graham era, even the Bill Blankenship era. They were bowling almost every single year. I don't understand it. Let's get it going. Phillip Montgomery was doing a great job. I get it. Okay, fine. Not the type of season you wanted a year ago, but I don't know. I kind of thought Phillip Montgomery should have stayed or, shouldn't have been fired. They had a 3-point loss to Wyoming, 8-point loss to Ole Miss, just a 10-point loss to Cincinnati. Those are 3 winning teams from a year ago. I just don't think they were that bad. I feel like you look past, go back to the Zaven Collins era when they were, pretty damn good just a couple of years ago. I don't understand it, but they go out and they get Kevin Wilson, the former Ohio State offensive coordinator. Look, he worked with the Oklahoma Sooners back under Stoops. He's still like a North Carolina guy. It's interesting. It was an interesting hire to me. Not that I think he's a good coach. I thought he got a raw deal at Indiana, and I think he was the guy to kind of resurrect some of Indiana's program. If you go back and look at his history, it's a guy that he's only been a head coach at Indiana. We saw 2011, 1-11, 2012, 4-8, 2013, 5-7, 2014. You started to worry, 4-8, but then 2 back-to-back 6-win seasons at Indiana. I thought he got, I thought it was nonsense. He got fired personally, but It was a weird hire to me, though, still with Tulsa. Now, I think it can still work out, Kevin Wilson, but I wasn't expecting it. I'll put it like that. I thought there would be some other names tossed around. Well, personally, I thought Phillip Montgomery deserved another year, but I know they have a different athletic director than the one who hired Montgomery, so they always want their own guy, and here's where we are after a 5-7 season. And Tulsa's one of these schools that I feel like schedules super fucking aggressively in the non-con. I feel like if you look throughout the years, like we're seeing this year, they head to Washington to take on a preseason top 10 team. They also are taking on the Oklahoma Sooners. Years past, they had back-to-back weeks of at Oklahoma State, at Ohio State. They play at Texas not long ago. I mean, I just feel like they always put the juggernauts out there. So knowing that you went 5-7, I'm not going to panic at that. I don't know. But obviously when you have a coach, you have a mass exodus. We're going to talk transfer portal. We're going to talk offense, defense, with the way it should be looking heading into 2023. And we'll go game by game on the schedule and try to break it down. But before we do all that, I want to tell you, and by the way, I'm rocking in the side studio here. The show's got to go on. We break down all 133 teams, and Real Money Kramer's doing his 24-hour draft at the main studio here. So I'm in the side studio at SGPN headquarters. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience, you're probably saying, damn, I'm a little too close to your face, Colby. What's going on? Right? My ugly mug is in your face. But yeah, so subscribe. Hop on over to YouTube, subscribe. All right? Going through all 133 teams, folks. What are you doing? We got every conference preview out. We got every FCS conference preview out. Come on, get over there, check it out. But yeah, we're going to break down all of that. I'm excited to talk about the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. I've always kind of liked this program. I can remember as a kid watching like the Gus Frerotte era, and I thought, oh man, they're a cool team. So I've always kind of appreciated what they do. And I like Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was recently there in the past couple of years, stayed at the Mayo down there, that hotel, and then checked out the Outsiders Museum. Shout out to, if you haven't done that, folks, if you're ever in Tulsa, go see Danny Boy O'Connor's Outsiders Museum. It's fantastic. So, all right, look, before we start breaking down the transfer portal, I want to tell you that the College Football Experience Tulsa Golden Hurricane 2023 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Game Time. I mean, look, buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be that stressful. Perfect example for me. I was in Oklahoma. I went to an Oklahoma State game in the middle of COVID. I was just hanging out in Oklahoma for like 10 days. And I thought, fuck, let me go to this Oklahoma State game. I see they're playing Iowa State. There's COVID restrictions, but I'm like, okay. But damn if the tickets weren't, because there was only a limited amount of people they could let in through state legislation or whatever, the state protocol. And I ended up paying like a grip for tickets to an Iowa State at Oklahoma State game. It was still awesome. Came down to the final possession of the game, but it was stressful. All right. And buying tickets to your favorite events should not be that stressful. And that's why I recommend Game Time. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for everything, really. Sports, music, comedy, theater, all near you, whatever. All right. With killer deals on last minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll be having at the event. All right. Forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. And they have the Game Time guarantee. Yes, which means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Whew, there we go. So snag tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, terms apply. The promo code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time today. Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, we are back on the College Football Experience. Tulsa Golden Hurricane 2023 season preview. And yes, and I dig Tulsa. If you've ever seen Rumblefish or Outsiders, fantastic. They were all shot there. Even that news show, the Stallone show, Tulsa King's been fun. Check out all those. But look, I mean, anytime you have a coach leave that was fired, you're normally going to have a gigantic exodus in current college football 2023. We try to grade the transfer portal here, and I mean, short of Air Force, Army, Navy, and strangely Clemson, you got to buckle up for this because they lose a ton. All right, leaving Tulsa in the portal is Braylon Braxton at the quarterback spot. He's gone. All right, he's according to 24/7 Sports, has not landed anywhere yet. But Davis Brin, who was a big-time quarterback player for the, started the past 2 years. He is now at Georgia Southern with Clay Helton. So he's gone. Wide receiver Malachi Jones also hit the portal. And then, I mean, they got destroyed. Both their offensive linemen that were studs, Dylan Wade at the offensive tackle spot. He's now with Hugh Strip Club Freeze in Auburn. And same with Jaden Muskrat. Both offensive linemen jumping over to the Auburn Tigers. They also lose a third offensive lineman, Chris Akaporagani. He's gone. And then, man, the defensive side of the ball, Anthony Goodlow, 4-star transfer according to 24/7 Sports. Defensive end jumps over to Oklahoma State and Stillwater there. And linebacker Justin Wright. Both those guys are good. Those are huge losses. Absolutely huge losses. They also lost the likes of safety Roderick Hopes to the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. I believe that's everybody. This is always changing, so it's always hard, but that's substantial losses. Might not have been as many as I thought coming into the episode, but definitely all key players. So incoming, and once again, they go out and hire Kevin Wilson, who brings in, by the way, Steve Spurrier Jr., who I had a chance to meet because he was Mike Leach's assistant at Washington State and Mississippi State. So I like that hire. We're going to see the old ball coach's son running this is the first time you'll see him as an offensive coordinator. So that's exciting. But they bring in Oklahoma State running back Braylon Presley. That's a nice get for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane and Kevin Wilson. They also go out and get USC linebacker Julian Simon. I know USC's defense wasn't that great, but this is a guy that played key minutes. It's a nice get for Tulsa. They also brought in cornerback Keon Parker from the Arkansas Razorbacks, and they went back to Stillwater to get safety Kenyon Williams from Oklahoma State and cornerback DeMarco Jones from Oklahoma State. So definitely bringing in some talent in the secondary. Also, Kentucky Wildcats cornerback Adrian Huey coming in. And that's it. Now, unfortunately, I would say they got absolutely fucking destroyed in the portal. So grading it, yeah, huge loss. And I don't even know if these, we're going to break down the offense, but I don't know if it really makes sense. Scoring offense, 49th, because all these guys are gone and the coaches are gone. So Phillip Montgomery's offense was 49th in the nation a year ago in scoring offense, 84th in rush offense, 24th in pass offense, starting at the 45th best offense in America. Once again, I'm shocked that he was fired because he had a top 50 offense here. I mean, I know you're 5-7, but the guy's a good coach. Let's just try to forecast the way we're going to see this offense in 23. They only returned 4 starters. And it's interesting because I know I touched on Braylon Braxton hitting the portal. I think he came back, and I think that's going to be their quarterback. I know they also have Cardell Williams and Roman Fuller. I'm surprised they didn't bring any Ohio State guys in. I thought maybe with his ties, and maybe that will come next year, but if Braxton, I think it's going to be Braxton. If I had to bet, if he came back, which is what I'm reading, I don't know what else to really expect. I mean, 56% completion percentage a year ago. He had 3 starts in his career. That's concerning. The running back position, I'm seeing it penciled in as Anthony Watkins. They also have Jordan Ford. They have the Oklahoma State transfer they added too. I don't know. I mean, in Presley, but I don't know. They also have Malachi Jones. I know they're excited about Malachi Jones, but he got 3 starts a season ago. The whole receiving unit is brand new. Marquise Shoulders, Nick Rempert, supposed to be the guys getting it done there. Also Keith Wheeler in the mix. Tight end Ethan Hall is back, and they got to be excited about that because just having any returning production. Now, I will say this. 3 of 5 on the offensive line are back, and your tight end. So in a way, you can say, okay, we got a little stability there. The other two guys are starting at Auburn. But you did lose both tackles. You're counting on Kyleon Herbert, a former Miami Hurricane transfer, at the left tackle spot, and then Darrell Simpson at the right tackle spot. He played in 12 games a year ago. He just didn't start. Maybe the offensive line's better than what I realized, but I still think losing those two key players, brutal. And when you look and say this is a top 50 offense a year ago, I expect gigantic regression. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't think Scott Spurrier can coach or Kevin Wilson. I think they're probably going to be pretty damn good at offense. They got to get it rolling, though, and I don't think it's going to be this year. So I expect big-time regression there. On the defensive side of the ball, they didn't hire their defense coordinator until after spring practice. That's kind of rare. So Chris Polizzi comes in, and he was at UT Martin the last 3 years. Interesting. They only bring back 5 on the defensive side of the ball, but they were active in the portal, especially in the secondary. The defensive line returns Jaden Simon at the nose guard spot, and also defensive tackle Joseph Anderson. They are counting on inexperienced ends, though. Owen Ostrowski is penciled in to be a starter. He is just a sophomore, and also they're counting on freshman Vontroy Malone at the other spot. I mean, I don't know. Linebacking core, all new linebackers. All right, Julian Simon, the USC transfer, is penciled in to be their guy. Colton Smith also there. The secondary only returns 3 who've started games. Tyrese Carlisle is the guy who started 11 games for them a season ago at the cornerback spot. I know they like that. Also, LJ Wallace at the strong safety spot, and also Darren Ray at the free safety spot. So they're breaking in Reggie Ellis, and also Jace Oliver is a name to watch out for as well. But all in all, I mean, this defense a year ago, 116th in scoring defense, 121st in rush defense, 33rd in pass defense, but that kind of diluted because I feel like everyone was running against them, and 98th in total defense. And I expect regression because your coordinator didn't get hired until after spring ball, and you don't return much. You're thin at you're starting youngsters. So, I mean, how many underclassmen here are starting? I'm counting 4 potentially 4, maybe just 3, but like 2 on the defensive line. Not a lot of returning production. I actually expect a regression on the defensive side of the ball too. So that's not good. Special teams wise, you're breaking in a brand new kicker in Tyler Tipton. Quote my cousin Vinny, Mr. Tipman. Punter Angus Davies is back as well. He's a kick Dundee though. He is a kick. We have a kick Dundee in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Australian punter Angus Davies. Let's go. I feel like we should take the over just because they have a kick Dundee. All right, let's go. We're gonna go game by game on the schedule, but I don't expect. I think Wilson still could be a good hire. I think he's a good football coach. It ain't going to be this year, I don't think, though. So we'll talk about it in a second, go game by game on the Golden Hurricane schedule. But before I do that, I want to tell you that the college football experience Tulsa Golden Hurricanes season preview episode is brought to you by Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. Yes, sign up for the Patreon to get access to exclusive contests, including the NFL Win Totals contest with a $1,000 first place prize. Besides the season-long contest, they also have weekly contests just for the patrons, plus a monthly SGP Stories podcast. Yes, completely ad-free and full of behind-the-scenes stories from SGP. And there's even a Discord channel just for the patrons. Only you can prevent corporate gambling, so do your part and sign up today. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. All right, look, I know traditionally if you followed all of our 133 previews, I'm in the main studio normally, and we normally have a sparkling graphic that will tell you the win total, but we're less than 10 days away from the season, so I'm grinding here in Studio B, And we don't have that graphic, but the win total is sitting at, according to DK, 4.5 right now. And look, on first thought, I would hammer the under. Let's get into it and see. Week 1, August 31st, Thursday night, Arkansas Pine Bluff. The Lions come to town in Tulsa at H.A. Chapman Stadium, which, by the way, we're going to have Michael Barker stop by in a little bit to talk about his experience at H.A. Chapman. This is a win. There's a win. Pine Bluff should be really bad this year. They're also breaking in a new head coach. So I do think the Golden Hurricane will start off 1-0 before they head to Seattle to go sailgating. To take on Michael Penix and the Washington Huskies. And I think they're going to get destroyed. Years past, Tulsa's been chippy. They should have beat Oklahoma State a couple times. They didn't. They played Ohio State tougher than I think most people realized. But I don't think this is their year for this type of production. So I think it's a bad loss to the Huskies. And then the following week, the Oklahoma Sooners play at Tulsa. See, last year, if you had told me this game was at Tulsa last year, which I know they'd probably have more Sooner fans than Tulsa fans, which is disgusting, by the way. But I would say, watch out. I think Tulsa could win that game. But the fact that everybody's gone, they're breaking in so many new people. I gotta say they're gonna get destroyed by the Sooners, and I wish it would have been last year. It's unfortunate. But so 1-2 out the gates, and then on September 23rd they head to DeKalb, Illinois. Now this is a winnable game, but Northern Illinois returns Rocky Lombardi, who's been there such a long time. I have to favor Northern Illinois. It's in DeKalb. It's a winnable game though. But I got Northern Illinois getting it done. So I got them 1-3 out the gate. And then on a short week, they're back Thursday night taking on Kurt Warner's son, E.J. Warner and the Temple Owls. That's a far trip for Temple. I circle this one as this is an upset to me. This is a winnable game. Now, Temple probably is in a better spot, but I am trying to be generous here and say Tulsa gets Temple. It's a far trip. Can't even fly into Tulsa. I think you got to go to Oklahoma City. But after that, then they head to Boca Raton to take on Tom Herman, Casey Thompson, and the Florida Atlantic Owls. I expect that to be a loss. So best case scenario to me, would be 3 wins. I don't think it's realistic. I think they're going to be 2-4 heading into their bye, and they could be 1-5. After the bye, they are home on a Thursday night to JT Daniels and the Rice Owls. I kind of think Rice is a decent football team this year, so I think they lose that game. Then the next week they are at SMU. I expect them to lose that game, and they'd be sitting there, 5 games left at 2-5. They do host Charlotte and Biff Poggi. This is kind of a strange game, just like the Temple one. It's a far trip, but I think Charlotte is a better roster right now, so I will favor Biff Poggi and the Charlotte 49ers. Winnable, though, and that could be your 3rd win. After that, you head to New Orleans to take on Tulane. That will be a loss. And then you're home to North Texas and Eric Morris. I expect that to be a loss. Then you end the season in Greenville at East Carolina. I expect that to be a loss. Folks, 4.5 is how the hell do they have this at 5 wins? Let me just try to play devil's advocate. Pine Bluff, Northern Illinois, Temple. That's 3. And then what? Charlotte? 4? This is a lock. I will lock up the under on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane because I can't see them getting to 5. I really can't. I'm shocked. It's at -110 too towards the under. So I think you hop on over there. You bet the hell out of this. Is one of my favorite plays so far this season. So let's. I like Tulsa. I want them to be good. I like the design of H.A. Chapman Stadium. I like all that good stuff. All right, but this is not your year. So I'm on the under heavy. But I'm hoping that this program turns around and starts getting back to where they should be. Look, before we get out of here, I had a chance to sit down with Michael Barker, a.k.a. College Football Campus Tour, to talk about H.A. Chapman Stadium and his travels to Tulsa, Oklahoma. So with no further ado, here is that interview with old Michael Barker. Joining me on the College Football Experience, Tulsa Golden Hurricane 2023 season preview episode is none other than Michael Barker, a.k.a. College Football Campus Tour. Yes, College Football Campus Tour. Give it a follow on Twitter at CFB Campus Tour because Michael does incredible work. He's been to every single FBS stadium Yes, 133 different college football stadiums. He's also been to a lot of the FCS, a lot of D2 and D3, and he documents all of his travel via that Twitter account. You're not going to get any other things besides football stadiums on that Twitter account. It is a must follow if you're a football fan. And Michael goes to 5, 6, 7 games a week. It's unbelievable. Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show to talk a little Tulsa Golden Hurricane football in H.A. Chapman Stadium.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I've been to this one 3 times for a game, so got some boots on the ground experience at H.A. Chapman.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stadium right now, Google image. I've been to Tulsa a couple times. I actually enjoy the city of Tulsa. I stayed at this cool hotel called the Mayo. If anyone goes to Tulsa, check out that. I also checked out that's where they shot the movie The Outsiders. If anyone gets a chance, check out The Outsiders house. You can go in that. But this stadium, I would like to get to it because, man, it looks super, super cool from the outside. Tell me about the history of this place.
Yeah, so the renovation you're talking about happened in 2008, and the outside is like rock, and it kind of gives it almost like a castle feel, and so it's a huge improvement aesthetically. But it opened in 1930, original capacity 14,000, and the name is Skelly Field. Now it's Skelly Field at H.A. Chapman Stadium. The current capacity is 30,000. Peak capacity was 40,000 in 1965 when they removed the track. And as part of that 2008 renovation I mentioned, it got lowered to 30,000. And back in the peak, they're playing Oklahoma this year, so there's probably going to be full capacity, but it won't beat what they did in 1987 when 47,350 came to see Tulsa versus Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, I see they're on the schedule again this year. The Sooners are coming in to Tulsa. That should be interesting. And I also see that it used to host the Oklahoma Outlaws of the USFL with Doug Williams back in the day. Tell me, how many times have you been to the stadium?
So I've been to 3 games there. The AAC plays a lot of weeknight games. I went there last year, but the most memorable game, it was during COVID, and you may remember it. It was against Tulane. It was double overtime, and Tulsa was down by a touchdown with 5 seconds left. They threw a Hail Mary, and J.C. Santana caught it to force overtime. In the first overtime, they exchanged field goals, and in the second overtime, Zaven Collins stepped in front of a pass, intercepted, and ran it 96 yards for a touchdown. And by the time that came, the weather was cold. There weren't that many people in the stands, and I filmed it, and I ran the length of the bleachers along with it. Not as fast, obviously, but it was cool. First-round draft pick in the NFL, AAC Defensive Player of the Year to make such a play, and to have the regulation come down to a Hail Mary and it happened. So Hail Mary on the last play, pick 6 in overtime, walk-off. It was a very memorable game.
Yeah, I remember exactly where I was watching that game. That game was insane. That's awesome that you were there. Wait, so hold on. So you've been there how many times?
3 times.
3 times? Man, because I can't believe I've been to Tulsa probably 5 or 6 times, and I've never been to the stadium. I need to. Folks, give Michael Barker a follow on Twitter at CFB Campus Tour because he does unbelievable work. And, I'm telling you, 5, 6, 7 stadiums a week, unbelievable. I couldn't imagine your travel schedule. I'm looking forward to following it this fall, and I appreciate you hopping on the show, talking a little H.A. Chapman Stadium, man.
Thank you. Check out my pinned tweet on my page. I got weeks 0 through 4. We got 19 games in the first 4 weeks. So after that, it will be weekly just because we want to wait on the kick times and get a noon game and a 7 game, but we don't know what those are going to be because they don't announce them until 12 days before the game. So I'm excited to share. I can't wait for the season to start. And, I always appreciate having a platform on your show.
Oh, dude, well, we appreciate you, man. And look, the passion, that's what it is. That's college football right there. That's one of the first things I think when you think college football, you think passion. All right, Michael Barker's out there going to all these college football games. It's absolutely fantastic. Folks, give him a follow on tour or on Twitter at College Football Campus Tour. And look, not only is it a great follow, like he does the shot of the game, documents the history of the stadium. It is a must follow. Michael, thanks again, man, and have a wonderful night.
All right.
Michael Barker. I mean, look, Tulsa fans, what are you doing, folks? You guys got football in your town. Get out, support. You got a lot of weekday games. It's fantastic. Tulsa basketball, been fun over the years. I love the program, and I hope Kevin Wilson is the guy. I hope he's the guy to get their program back to where it should be, because this is a fun team. When they're good, I think college football is better. So, folks, I love the under, though. Bet the hell out of the under. Sorry, Kevin. But, yeah, folks, get the SGPN app. It's free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. And remember, we're going through all 133 teams, so subscribe, tell a friend, and we're at the end of the run here, so go listen to your team, all right? Go listen to your team. Also, I host the college this is the college football experience. I host the FCS college football experience. I host the college basketball experience. When the season tips, I'll be here every single night of the season talking college hoops. And also, I host the college baseball experience with Noah Beanick. Check out all that. And Tulsa was a fun story this year. I'm sorry, Oral Roberts was a fun story. They're located in Tulsa. So check us out there. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have another season there. So check us out there. Also, the Big 12 experience. We're in Big 12 country. It's the Big 12, like Dan Hawkins once said. Check out the Big 12 experience. We come together as one. All of those podcasts are together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Subscribe. Tell a friend. All right. Also, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast as they break down all 32 NFL teams. Get the SGPN app, as I just alluded to. It's free. We're not trying to take your money. You'll get access to our articles, our picks, our content. Also, Discord. Tulsa plays those weekday games. What are you doing, folks? You got nothing going on. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Discord. Doesn't matter the sport, all right? It could be a game of badminton going on in, I don't know, South Africa. We got you covered, all right? It's a lot of fun in there. It's like a house party of DJs, just talking about bets they like, games they like, teams they like. So check it out. All right, folks, until next time, this is the college football experience, Tulsa Golden Hurricane style. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's